Everybody else that blames everybody else for their actions and acts like they're the only person.
For signs CM Punk vs. Seth Rollins will main event WWE RAW's Netflix premiere. Seth Rollins and CM Punk set the world abuzz on the final WWE RAW of 2024 with an epic promo segment. Their verbal confrontation was the final main roster segment of the year and one of the hottest, giving new meaning to the phrase, saving the best for last. The two megastars tore into each other in blockbuster fashion, setting the stage for their clash on the Red brand's Netflix debut. After that memorable exchange, many fans have called for the Second City Saint and the Visionary to headline January 6th's landmark show. Despite the rumor mill initially suggesting Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in tribal combat will go on last, all indications point to Punk and Rollins taking that honor. Here are 4 signs that Seth Rollins and CM Punk will headline WWE RAW's debut episode on Netflix. Seth Rollins and CM Punk have been the main focus of the build-up to WWE RAW's Netflix premiere. The build-up to WWE RAW's Netflix premiere has revolved around 3 major rivalries. The announcement of Roman Reigns' first Raw match in over 3 years against Solo Sikoa in tribal combat to determine the undisputed tribal chief drove up buzz considerably. Later, the creative team announced that Liv Morgan would defend her women's world title against Rhea Ripley on January 6th. The match later received a last woman standing stipulation. However, no feud has done more heavy lifting in the build than CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. The first-time dream match feel, plus the long history and palpable vitriol between the rivals, has arguably generated more interest in the Red brand's Netflix debut than any other match or segment. After their instantly iconic promo exchange on the final Raw of 2024, it's hard to see anything else headlining. CM Punk vs. Seth Rollins has repeatedly been unofficially hinted at as the main event of WWE RAW's Netflix debut. Over the past few weeks, reports and rumors have persistently suggested WWE RAW's debut on Netflix will be headlined by tribal combat. Despite Seth Rollins vs. CM Punk having a stronger story, the Bloodline's main event pedigree plus the possibility of The Rock interfering also makes for an intriguing case. Neither match has officially been promoted as the main event, leaving fans guessing. However, commentators Michael Cole and Joe Tessitore have repeatedly referred to Punk vs. Rollins as the main event in an offhand, almost teasing manner. This could have been a move to gauge fan opinion regarding them going on last, or a tentative plan in case something bigger came along. Given that the last Raw on the USA Network still had these hints, it's safe to assume that the Visionary and the Second City Saint will take the coveted spot. Roman Reigns' absence from WWE RAW in the build-up is a good sign for CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns has dominated the WWE main event scene for almost a decade. Whether as the big dog, the tribal chief, or the OTC, whenever the 6-time world champion is on the card, he is in the main event or thereabouts. As seen at the Bad Blood 2024 PLE, where CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's Hell in a Cell match didn't headline the show, anything involving the former Shield powerhouse is likely to get top billing. Given that Reigns will have a rare TV match on Raw's historic Netflix debut, it's natural for some to expect him and Solo Sikoa to main event. However, the original Tribal Chief's absence from the Red brand in the build-up to its debut on the streaming giant is very telling. The tribal combat will definitely be an attraction, but Reigns' lack of presence in the build suggests Punk and Seth Rollins will be the top draw. John Cena and The Rock have not been heavily advertised for WWE RAW's Netflix debut. In the build-up to WWE RAW's debut on Netflix, rumors have consistently circulated regarding John Cena and The Rock appearing. The 16-time world champion confirmed his presence on the historic episode during the post-Money in the Bank press conference last year, while the Great One has yet to show his cards. However, the final boss is expected by some to have a say in tribal combat. If there are any stars other than Roman Reigns who can pose a threat to CM Punk and Seth Rollins' main event spot, it's Cena and The Rock. Given that the only advertising either man has received for the show is a single graphic for the Chain Gang Soldier on the last Raw of 2024, it's hard to see one of them headlining. This increases one's confidence in the probability of Punk vs. Rollins main eventing the first ever episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Seth Rollins' entrance takes about 27 minutes, WWE star called out by former champion for taking too long to enter the ring. A top WWE superstar took a massive shot at Seth Rollins in a new interview. The visionary was targeted by Australian wrestler Grayson Waller. Rollins is one of the most popular stars in all of WWE. He receives a massive pop every single time he makes his entrance, and fans in attendance collectively sing his theme while he makes his way to the ring. While talking with the West Sport, WWE superstar Grayson Waller took a shot at Seth Rollins. He spoke about his memories of last year's Elimination Chamber, Perth event. Waller and Austin Theory hosted the Grayson Waller Effect with Rollins and Cody Rhodes as guests at the show. Here's what Waller said about Rollins. "Yeah, it was awesome, and obviously getting to have all my mates and my family there was really cool. Especially, Seth Rollins' entrance takes about 27 minutes by all the time he does all his conducting and all that stuff. So, I had a lot of time to stand in the ring. And I remember Theory actually grabbed me at one stage and kind of said, 'Hey man, take the moment and look.' And, going from wrestling in front of 20 people in a shed in Newcastle, in New South Wales, to in front of 52,000 people was very cool." Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes stood tall at the end of the talk show. Rollins announced on the Grayson Waller Effect that he was cleared to return to the ring. He then threw a massive challenge at The Rock and made it known that Cody wouldn't be facing the Bloodline alone. In the end, Austin Theory got beat up by both Rollins and Rhodes. The American Nightmare hit a Cody cutter on Theory, followed by Rollins hitting the stomp. Seth Rollins and CM Punk to face real-life heat backstage for their segment on Raw. Possibility explored. Former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and CM Punk have been engaged in a heated feud for weeks now. On the December 16th edition of Monday Night Raw, both superstars got into a brawl that was so intense that the security team had to interfere to separate them. Following the quarrel, Adam Pearce officially announced a singles match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk for Raw's premiere episode on Netflix on January 6th. The latest edition of the Red Brand concluded with an intense promo battle between Punk and Rollins. The arch-rivals were seemingly given the creative independence to express their minds. And in some places, it looked like both stars crossed lines that were not to be crossed. It appears the straight-edge superstar and the visionary might have to face real-life heat backstage for crossing lines on Raw during their segment. Punk mentioned Vince McMahon during his promo when he said that he loved the company, but hated the guy in charge, McMahon, who he felt like Rollins. Seth wasn't too far behind when he mentioned WWE's rival company AEW while taking some personal shots at the Second City Saint. Wallet Eye.